Hey, it's the movie club with friends. What's going on? Hey, how are you guys?
How are you, Mikey?
Doing good.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited because this week was a Michael pick. Sorry. uh, this week was 2001: A Space Odyssey. It is a Stanley Kubrick movie, and it is, regardless of how any of you liked it on a personal level, you have to appreciate it. You have to give this movie
He's already doubting us.
the respect it deserves. It is, if not one of the most referenced thing ever. Like, everything, every sitcom, everything has, like, referenced it in some way.
Yeah, our score's still going to be extremely low, just FYI.
It was groundbreaking for its special effects for the time. It's won best movie of all time multiple times. Even some of the stuff that it had for, like, space travel and stuff is kind of true. So anyways, I'll give my opinion. 10 out of 10, love it. This is the third time I've seen the movie. Every time I watch it, it just gets better. The beginning with the monkeys, or early man, I really, really, really like that part. I just love how, you know, they wake up, they see the monolith, and then you see the one monkey, and he's just, like, looking at those bones, and so the whole thing is the monolith inspired intelligence in early man, and so it's just like it thought of it, and then it figured out it could use the bone as a weapon to get its watering hole back for its tribe. And that shit just fucking, I don't know. I love that shit. The middle part is the slowest part, in my opinion. But it literally is just a lead into the third part, which is like the meat and potatoes of the movie. The
breathing part.
Yeah, that really bugged all you guys, eh?
Dude, it's a lot of breathing, man. Like, you can't lie. That was a lot of breathing.
It's a lot of breathing, but I think it's to, in my opinion, I think it's to kind of resemble the... I think just the loneliness of space, or the emptiness of space. So yeah, I guess I'll just kind of, like, come in and out of what you guys say, because I don't really want to talk about everything as being the first person talking about it. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and then I can chime in. The last thing I'll say is what I really like about this movie is it's very open-ended. So, and it's supposed to inspire thought and conversation, and it's just like, it's kind of like the monolith. It's just, you don't know what it is, right? You don't know exactly what the story is or what happens, so you're supposed to think about it, and I don't know, it's a really smart movie. So let's hear from Julie.
Maybe it's too smart. Maybe it's too smart. I don't know if I got it, to be honest with you. So, like, and I feel like I get most movies, so, man. Did you know that there's no dialogue for the first 25 minutes of this film? And there's no dialogue for the last 23 minutes of this film?
Yup.
We spend almost an hour in silence with these people. And breathing.
Because it's and yeah, you could just keep talking. Sorry.
Yeah. I just I really didn't understand the monolith thing. I had to like Google it, I'll be honest with you, because I didn't understand like why it was so important. And I got like if I think back about it, and if I was really trying to dissect it, maybe I would have gotten it more during when they were showcasing Homo erectus or whatever Homo version that we're, or human evolution version that we were in. When they start, all of a sudden they get the epiphany to start using tools, which I guess like the monolith is inspiring mankind, but like why? I don't know. Like it bothered me. Like if I when I looked up like the ending and like the explanation of the entire purpose, like it kind of like pissed me off. Like why did we need to have this monolith anyway to help inspire us? Like this is dumb. Like humans don't need we don't need this.
Well, this is this alternate movie universe, right?
Obviously, yeah.
So did Dave is Dave the monoliths, and he somehow it's like this weird endless cycle, or are the monoliths an outside source, right? Because at the end of the movie, I think Dave becomes like one with the universe and or like mankind. So what did you think?
I honestly have no idea, Michael. The ending didn't make any fucking sense to me. Like,
does anyone else want to punch Mike in the face right now?
Like, I understand how it's an iconic movie. Like, the worst part to me, and like this isn't even about you. Like, the worst part to me is that like when I was Google like ending of 2001: Space Odyssey explained, like every single article like was just like, you just finished watching 2001: Space Odyssey and you loved it, but you want to know why? And I'm like, fuck you guys. Like what? And you want to know why did you love it? I'm like, I did not.
But like, okay, but like the final scene is such a. So he's like, when he's in that room, that like weird house thing. The way they made it so he's like living out these different timelines, like essentially all at the same time. Like it's just done so well. I'm like kissing my hands. Like it's so perfect.
Terrible.
It was so good. Sorry, Julie. Keep going.
But yeah, I will say that the concept of Hal killing people is terrifying. They should redo this movie, maybe.
Yeah, and make some longer pauses with no dialogue.
I will tell you honestly, the most enjoyable part of this movie for me was that me and Johnny were watching it at the same time.
So,
and I could text him. We could text everything. We were really funny with each other.
Maybe it makes more sense in the books. I don't know. But maybe it makes more sense in the books.
I've never read the books, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, there's 2001, there's 2061, 2010, 3001.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, I think the concept of Hal is really, really creepy. I think the music was great. Like, that's what I'll give it. I think the music was really good.
The music was iconic.
Yeah.
The music is iconic. I'll give it that.
The music is very iconic.
And
I'll be honest with you, Michael. I told Johnny and Gabe this. Like, I feel like Family Guy, Futurama, South Park, even I think like a lot of them made fun of this movie enough for me growing up that especially all the Hal scenes.
Yeah.
You know, what's wrong, Dave? Blah blah, Dave. Like all I could hear is like Futurama,
Yeah.
Or the Family Guy episode where they're making fun of it.
What did you think of all the? I'll say the non-standard camera angles. Did that do anything for you, Julie?
I don't even think I noticed non-standard camera angles.
There's just parts. There's parts.
Did you notice?
Give me an example.
When he's in like the airport, it's very. It's not like cutting from like face to face. You know, there is a few of that.
Like you're a part of them.
Yeah, you almost feel like you're a person standing there. When he's giving the speech on the moon base, he's not in focus at all. And any other movie, it would literally just, it'd be cutting from person to person and mostly on him. Maybe a back shot like that, but that is just, I think it might have a few cuts, but it might just be one shot of just this room.
I don't know. I don't think I noticed. I'll be honest with you. I'm quite sad. Like, this movie is so iconic, and like I know that it mattered so much to people. And I'm sure if I were to tell anyone who watched this, they'd just be like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why didn't you like it?"
So, what did you rate it?
I think I'm probably gonna give it a 3, and I disliked it.
You are.
Holy shit.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I told you I had a hard time thinking. I still think it's better than Garrett's or the movie last week. I probably should have given the movie last week a 2. So, but like I'm deciding to give it the exact same rating. They're both a 3 and disliked for me.
Holy moly! All right.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy any of it, and it's just like way too slow for me. It was really, it just like most of it felt slightly awkward. Like it wasn't my. I like the music, but I can't be like 3. Didn't enjoy any of it except music. So.
Okay, well, we can no longer be friends. Have a nice life.
You know what? It's funny because I was thinking to myself, like 1968. I know a lot of great movies that were made in 1968 that were also involving space. Like the first thing I thought of was Planet of the Apes, and I'm like, I'm almost gonna make you watch the original 1968 Planet of the Apes.
I've seen the
Yes,
original.
because that movie is like a million times better than this one.
No, it's not.
It is
I'm
much
here now,
better.
by the way. Just saying.
Hi, Jeff.
On my phone.
Is that offending you, Jeff? Okay, sorry. But yeah, it's so much better.
I don't want to sound. This isn't like an insult, but I think you really appreciate just like that standard Hollywood formula of a story.
I appreciate movies that make sense.
Are
I
you
guess.
kidding me? That's your response?
That's my response.
Okay, Charlton Heston. Planet of the Apes is a fucking fantastic film. It has almost the exact same rating as 2001: Space Odyssey.
It's a good
Really,
movie.
what do you think? What do you think the Space Odyssey means? Like, what do you think the story is? What do you think it's trying to say?
I think they're trying
That's
to
a
do
good question, Jeff.
something about like mankind, like showing the progression and then the progression of man and then into space. I don't know. Don't they say like what is it called? Like we obviously owned the Earth at that point. Then we're going to space, but we don't know shit about space, and now we're just I don't know. It's just
So
like I get the altruistic meaning that they're trying to do. I just think it's not very obvious, and it was really boring, and I didn't enjoy it.
So, the final scene, what did you, as soon as it was over, what did you think had happened?
He had watched his death happen. I assumed that he had gotten onto some sort of, like, the planet. I think they were going to Jupiter. Where were they going?
It was
And
Jupiter.
It was like he was in an area to be observed, so I assume, like, some sort of alien life form
I don't think
got
it's
him.
really
and-
made. I don't think it's. Basically, the monolith that they found on the moon was giving a signal to Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got that. That's why they went to Jupiter.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when he got to Jupiter. It felt like he just saw his own death happen. But he was like he was being observed or something. It was really creepy and like it didn't. I don't know. I really did not enjoy it. Just like okay, this old man is watching himself die, and he just like looked terrified and. Oh God. This...
Okay.
So if I can go next.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go next.
So, Mike, one reason why I think you like this movie a lot is this movie is literally Gurren Lagann, but more humanized and realistic.
You think so?
Would you? Yeah. Don't you think? Literally, the beginning of each is starting off as apes or underground people, the simplest possible form, and then they find something, the drill, the monolith, and they start progressing forward, and they end up becoming something greater than you can see the parallels. The parallels are definitely there. But anyway,
now that you're saying it, I agree. And you weren't here, but one of the reasons why I really like this movie is that it is super open to. It is basically however you think it is. That's like the right answer.
I think this movie was it was about higher life forms giving almost like a guide or instructions to the lower life forms about how to attain higher intelligence and higher being. So like the first monolith was sent to the apes, just appeared out of nowhere, and it led to them, learning about tools and whatnot. And then they used those tools to, violence against others. And then eventually you get to the second monolith. The humans have created more and more tools or whatever. They got all the way to the moon or whatever, found the second monolith, which sent them to the next step, which is the edge of the galaxy, Jupiter. And then there they find the third monolith, which once they reach that, or right before they reach that, there's the whole fiasco with HAL, the supercomputer, which was literally a tool that was given consciousness. And it was like man versus tool. Like it was man versus the thing he created, and man had overcome that, which was in itself kind of like a test for the third monolith. So once he got to the third monolith, he was alone. And the third monolith was it was like a wormhole or like a warp gate to the another dimension. Like that's the reason why all the crazy colors and whatnot is because it was something like we can't comprehend, because it's like another dimension or whatever. So like it was just a bunch of random hoopla.
Did he need to be fucking floating or going through that dimension for solid 15 minutes? Did that need to fucking happen? Because I got that. I understood that.
I think this Stanley Kubrick definitely wants to put a sense of I don't want to say wonder, but definitely a sense of just like you don't know how long this is going to be. You don't know what's going on, and that's exactly how that astronaut felt. Like he doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know how long it's going to be, doesn't know a sense of time, doesn't know what's happening at all, and that's exactly what he's experiencing. And I think Stanley wanted you to experience that as well.
So
and I can understand why you wouldn't like it. I mean, my dad was watching the last part of the movie with me, and I was just like, man, I should have been high for this. Like, this is what's going on. This is taking forever. Once he gets to the room, my dad and I weren't really sure what was going on, but then we realized, at the end, when the monolith appeared, and he was on his deathbed, realized that he was, like you said, in a little room where the higher life forms were essentially observing his life, checking to see if he was mature enough as a life form to advance on to the next stage. And on his
turn into a giant space baby.
On his deathbed, he was still curious enough and still had the will to try to touch the monolith, signifying that he wanted to know more. He wanted to go further in his existence. And so the monolith, the higher life forms, thought he was good enough, so they transformed his soul or his consciousness, whatever, into the fucking baby, which I guess is just the next level of consciousness, like the next level of dimension or whatever. So then he returns back to Earth, and he wants to advance his own humankind, I assume. And that was what I took from the movie.
So, one question for you, Jeff, is: do you think Hal was malfunctioning, or did you think that this that he was working fine, and he just figured that humans were not capable of, because this mission was so important, not capable to like fulfill it properly.
I don't think he's malfunctioning. At first I thought he did that error on purpose to kill all the other humans. Like, he needed them to. He wanted to kill all of the humans so he wouldn't die, because I think he knew that eventually he would be like killed, or just killed, quote unquote, after the mission was completed or whatever. But now that after thinking about it, he knew what the mission was. He knew about the intelligent life.
Yeah.
And maybe he wanted to be the one that was put in that room and able to ascend to the next level of consciousness. So I don't know if he wanted to be the one to ascend to that next level of dimensions or whatever, or if he was just trying to ensure his own survival and kill all the other humans so he would be able to do whatever he wanted after that, because he was essentially a living thing at that point. He had his own mind or whatever.
Dave, I'll get better, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm fading, Dave.
That in itself is a really ethical part of the movie, because you have to think, like, are you killing someone, or are you killing something?
Even if you're killing someone or something, that dude just killed 4 other people.
So
He needs to be stopped.
That's true, but the act of killing in of itself is that okay? Like, even if it's like the death sentence, in all the states or whatever, is it
Dude,
up to us?
we're getting way too deep. We're getting way too deep in all that. I feel like
Well, no, I think that's what the movie is, though. I think that's what the movie is. It's supposed to be super deep like that.
Okay, well, Gabe, let's hear from you then.
All right, this movie was a waste of my time.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it probably a 3 or 4. I'll decide at the end. And hated, maybe disliked. I'll decide at the end as well. This whole movie, and I get it, it's so much art going on, and it's trying to make you think about what's going on, but it's so boring. And it does not capture, literally the scenes are going on for so long.
Yeah.
And they needed to shorten the scenes up a little bit or something, because scenes that are that long can really, you can lose your train of thought, and your being able to zone in on one thing. And that was my biggest thing, is that the scenes were way too long. It didn't really have a huge plot for the most part. There's they had the whole monkey thing, and they go, we've already discussed all this, and it just didn't seem very compelling to me. And I get it, in 68 this was probably groundbreaking, and that's why I'm kind of trying to hesitate to bash it too much, because it was a movie in 68.
Yeah. That's why I'm.
The special effects and all that were pretty. Those were really good.
That's why I'm relating it to other movies that came out in '68, like fucking Planet of the Apes and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. They made a fucking, thing fly in the air. So way more entertaining than this.
Okay. Planet of the Apes, sure. You want to compare 2001 to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
No, that's obviously a joke. But
Yeah, the special effects were good. I don't know, it was just very abstract. And yeah, you can, after watching it the first time, you're probably not going to understand anything, and I get that. But that not understanding anything just pissed me off and didn't make me want to look into it anymore. Yeah. Granted, for this, I did look into it, and yeah, they have all these different ways that you can explain it. But at the end of the day, a movie should be entertaining as well as make you think about these hard things. And whenever it's so abstract that you can't kind of grasp it during the movie, then I lose interest in it, and I'm just not gonna pay attention. And it doesn't do anything for me.
That's completely fair argument. I do agree it's a very slow movie, but to me, even though it's longer than Apocalypse Now, and it's not that I didn't like Apocalypse Now, 2001 feels a lot quicker than...
No.
I
Things happen in
completely
Apocalypse
disagree.
Now.
To me, 2001, it felt like it was like 30 minutes.
No,
So,
that's how much plot there is in the movie. That's not how long the movie is.
okay, so Gabe, the final scene, what did you think happened?
I was sorry. I was watching the screen with all the colorful lights and him making the weird faces, and then he got
He's
teleported
busted
to a
up, baby.
room. And then I turn around 1 second, and then I look back, and he's a giant baby. That's all I got. Yeah, I didn't get much out of it.
Okay,
I was already disinterested at that point, honestly.
that's fair. Jared, you let's hear from Jared.
So, it's between 3 and 4. I'm thinking closer to 3, though. The only real part of this movie that I actually enjoyed was the Hal parts. The monkey part was way too long and didn't do much of anything for me. And then there was the whole thing where the guy went to the space station to tell them thank you for going along with this quarantine thing. That took way too long. It felt like it served almost no purpose at all, even looking back.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, I like the Hal part, but everything after that, I kind of feel like Stanley Kubrick was really far up his own ass making this movie. I understand it's iconic and it's an art piece, but it is not enjoyable to watch. Like I said, the only parts of this movie I actually liked were the man versus machine, human versus his creation.
They should do a whole movie just on that. Oh, iRobot. Damn. They did.
It's something that's been discussed a lot in movies, but
I thought I would like it more than I did, but I just really did not enjoy watching it. I'm sure there's a lot there, a lot to think about, but as a movie, I would never watch this movie again unless I am doing some kind of analysis on artistic sci-fi movies. So no.
And thank God that's
no.
not my job, because
Yeah.
I'm just not good. Yeah, like I don't think I'm not cut out.
This is
for-
not. Yeah, this is just not my kind of movie.
okay, that's fair. So again, what did you think happened at the end?
Honestly, at this point, I had no fucking idea what was going on anymore, and I just couldn't care. I had my hands like pressed against my temples, just hoping the movie would end, and I could just get on Discord and talk about how much I really did not enjoy it.
That's funny.
I am surprised, Jared. I am totally with you. I was expecting to like it slightly more than I did. I really was.
It's iconic. I know it is, but
See, this is basically what I thought the reviews were gonna be like. I'm shocked of honestly Jeff's opinion of it.
I had a weird
I'm really-
feeling at
I'm-
the very end. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I thought I'm really fucking pissed that was a 2-hour and 30-minute movie. Like, I was so mad that I was like, I'm gonna make Mike watch a fucking long ass thing. But I did like the movie, but it's weird. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
It's a really good movie. Okay, so I guess
I like the ideas it pushed on, I should say.
I guess we'll hear from the Mr. Closer.
Wow, me already? No.
yeah, there's not a lot of people on, unfortunately. I guess they all saw this movie and like,
Garrett.
nope,
Garrett did not
Didn't
see
watch it.
Oh. Wow.
Garrett tried to get into gold for League of Legends instead of watching
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie.
and he failed at that too.
Oof.
Dude, man.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know. I'm in a bad mood. I'm apologizing.
I love it. This is what happens when you make us watch shitty movies, you guys. Don't do it again. Jared, I am excited about your pick this week.
It's yeah. I'll discuss.
Alright. So, anyway, I got more out of it, I feel, than what you guys might have.
Mhm.
So
I'm
4
gonna
out
give
of 10.
this. I'm gonna give it a 6, and like what Gabe was talking about. Like there were scenes in the movie where it just felt like it could have been cut down quite a bit more. It did not need to be almost a 3-hour movie. I did like the idea that Jeff did bring up though about like how it made you kind of feel uncomfortable, like similar to what everyone else in the movie is going through, or like especially the main character at the very end. I can't remember his name.
Hmm.
But I don't know, like this movie being made in 1968, like it has really good effects. Like the idea is cool for its age, and I think this movie represents. It's like one of those movies where it's like, look what we can do. Like at the time and effort that they made it, it's like this is like so badass for its era that they just kind of rolled with it, and they threw everything in when they should have at least taken a few parts out. And it just kind of reminds me of like what some movies do today, like like the Detective Pikachu or whatever. Like that literally looks
That
like a
was
movie
beautiful
where
and interesting.
it literally looks like one of those movies where it's like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna spend $5 million on this movie and it's just gonna be outrageous.
Yeah.
Like there's
Right,
gonna be
hell
no
yeah.
plot to the or whatever. So like that's kind of what I felt like getting from like for
So-
2000 Space Odyssey.
It's like I can understand not enjoying like the long drawn out scenes of like the classical music and them just kind of like drifting through space or whatever, but I don't know. To me, it's just like nice and it looks nice, and especially for the time, that being like the top special effects of the time, that would be like mind-blowing to watch.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed the improvements in technology between the very first space station they were on. They had to use those like those gravity shoes, not gravity shoes, but like sticky shoes or whatever.
Oh yeah,
To
yeah.
walk around. But then when they show the spaceship to Jupiter, the guy is doing laps around the track without any special shoes because they learned how to improve their gravity, whatever. Like their technology improved.
Yeah.
Also, another point is the final scene of the apes. The monkey threw up his bone, and then the next scene
Yeah.
is the space station with the pen floating down,
Yeah.
signifying the tools. Bone, the pen.
There's a lot of that shit, and let's let Johnny talk, and then I can talk again.
Okay. Yeah, I really appreciated whenever they did get to the space stations because those scenes were really cool, like shot really well. I did really
Yes.
appreciate like the angles that they did it with, and it looked like the way that they used their camera, like they obviously built their stage in something that could rotate, so that like it looked like they were going upside down and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool. Like for a 1968 movie, it was really well
And
done.
the scene with the two guys in the cockpit and then the lady behind them, and they were both standing in two different orientations.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a pretty neat trick because they probably pre-recorded one scene and then superimposed it on the other one to make them seem like they were standing in different ways.
Yeah. So I decided to take a few notes during this. I tried to. I kind of stopped midway through because I realized there was just stupid questions that I kept asking because I had no idea what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to read a few to you guys. At the very beginning, 12 minutes and 35 seconds, the primates literally go ape shit crazy over a rectangle. I still don't understand like why everybody just starts freaking out over that thing.
Well,
Because it appeared out of nowhere and it's super smooth.
like so
Okay.
So
then,
the scene before the sun is going down, and it's like as we seen, they got kicked from their watering hole. One of them got hunted by like a jaguar or whatever. nighttime for like Primal Man was like fucking terrifying. It was pitch black. What the fuck? They just huddle up and they just go to bed. So then they wake up and there's like this fucking.
Okay. Don't impose like what your emotions would be like for them back then. It's just like animals today and stuff. Like you adapt and you're fine.
No, nighttime was. What do you mean? Nighttime was terrifying.
I mean, that's what you would think right now. Like, I don't know if they would be terrified.
That's what. Okay, well, that's what I've been taught. That's what I've heard, right? So, anyways, and then they wake up and there's like this fucking thing there that wasn't there the morning before. You wouldn't, Johnny, if you woke up and there was a giant rectangle in front of your bed that wasn't there before, would you not be like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck?
Okay, I can understand that. So then my second question is like, what? So then the aliens who put that rectangle there are responsible for us knowing that we can beat people up with a bone?
Yeah, that's like my issue. Like that's my issue with the whole concept of this. Like I feel like if you're talking about mankind being like so amazing, or you're watching like this, like this sci-fi version of man's evolution. That's what that's how I'm describing this movie. I feel like it's super insulting to be like, oh, it's because of fucking outside forces and this rectangle alien people that have given us this monolith that has made us who we are. Like, to me, I'm like, that's kind of like, that's why I'm like, I don't even like the meaning behind it. Like, I understand the parallels that it's trying to do, but I think it's super insulting too. So I don't know. Like, it's just like, I disagree with it.
I think it's like just a nudge in the right direction.
Well, the
thing, but fuck that. You don't need
the thing is we don't know that if like Dave or whatever was, if he was the monolith himself, right? He's reborn as like this like universe baby. It could be in a sense that like it's like this cycle where he inspires man so he can get there to become this thing so he can inspire man, right? Or it's even like the monolith is just like this blank slate because it's this device, it's this thing that we don't understand, we don't fully grasp it. Is it actually like a thing, or is it just the idea of getting intelligence?
I like that.
There's the thing about this movie. It's just everything.
Yeah,
is super open ended.
Yeah, and that like, I do believe that like at the very end that it's him just being reborn, and kind of the cycle comes over and over, and so like the monoliths are put there by humans for the humans, and it just keeps repeating through time. And I don't know, maybe that was the end of like our time and then it just restarts, or like the movie just showed us the 3 first ones and there's more to come kind of thing, like it didn't really expand on that. Okay, another thing I had in my notes, who the fuck would fly one person to the moon? Literally. That fucking cockpit had like 30 seats around the guy, and he's just snoozing just by himself.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Like, airplanes don't even...
mission.
That didn't seem like it would be very efficient. That wouldn't happen. Capitalism is still part, like...
Bring people into it. Like, he could be undercover. Like, that seems more suspicious to bring one person on board than having him just, like, chill, True. It was so fucking stupid. I was like, what the hell's going on? That's dumb. Anyway, and then I don't know if you guys got this, but I felt like I got way more emotion and acting out of Hal than I did the other 2 humans.
Yes.
In those scenes.
I think that was by design, but yeah.
Yeah.
That was by design.
I really think that Hal kind kind of had just like a superiority complex, and he's like watching the guy like getting better at like drawing and stuff, and he's beating them at chess and stuff. So I really think at the end of the day he found the crew unfit to handle this mission, and that's why he did what he did.
I like how it escalated so quickly. Like, they got out of that little thing where they tried to talk without him watching, and then immediately he like goes out there, and I thought it was kind of comical actually, because it was kind of like dead silence. There wasn't much noise going on or anything, and you just look at the mirror and this guy's just like twirling in space. And the aircraft is also twirling. I was like, oh, okay.
That's why I thought it was funny. I'm like, oh, why is he? I'm like, oh man, like, I think he's dying.
Well, yeah.
And then I messaged Johnny.
I just like, yeah. If you thought that your computer was kind of going a little haywire, like, don't just send one dude out there. Like, I would have been like, he's gonna murder me out there.
But I think it's like that whole. I don't know. It's like, what is it? This came out before iRobot and stuff, didn't it? So, like, I don't know, like, maybe, like, that's like where the concept, like, you assume, like, even if it's going haywire, you assume it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any more to say, Johnny?
No. Just that I found him hilariously, his expressions whenever he's going through that wormhole.
They were funny.
So, I don't know. Did I ask you? What did you think the ending was?
Oh, it's kind of suggested that it's just him being reborn, and he becomes part of the universe and a higher being, and he puts those monoliths there, like, through the past, present, and future.
Yeah.
So is he like God? Is it like that? Like.
Is that what it's implying, Julie? You tell us.
I don't know. Really don't want to, like... I don't want to think about it too heavily anymore. Also, like, I guess, like, he's just never seen... He's definitely missed his daughter's birthday, is all I'm going to say. Definitely didn't go to his daughter's birthday.
Yeah, that's a weird part. I don't know why they included that, and I find that awkward, because it's so clearly a recording of this little girl and not a video call. Yeah, they didn't really need to have... That's the only part where I'm like, they didn't need to have him talk to his daughter.
I think they just wanted to humanize him more. I don't know. I don't really understand.
Yeah, but
they wanted to show that there's a video, there's FaceTime in the future.
Yeah, true, I guess.
They for sure didn't have FaceTime back in '68.
No, they for sure did.
Yeah,
that's
that's
definitely FaceTime.
That's one thing I always see people talk about, is that they have like tablets in the third act. They have tablets that they're watching TV on, and that's something that we have today. So yeah, just people bring that up a lot.
Okay.
That's all there is. That wasn't going too far.
Yeah. Jared.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm done. I'm glad we watched it, even if you didn't like it.
I'm glad I watched it too, just so I can know that I don't like it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's a movie that people that like movies should see, because now when you watch every other thing ever made, you'll be like, oh my god, they're referencing 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
And a better movie, despite the fact
Because it's just... Anyways, yes. Jared, what are we watching next week?
Alright, so I kind of had an idea what the feel of 2001 was going to be like. I definitely remembered what Apocalypse Now. I didn't want to do anything that heavy. I want to do something more fun, very more comical. But at the same time, 2001 put the idea of sci-fi in my head, so I decided to go with Galaxy Quest.
Oh, okay.
Starring Tim Allen?
Tim Allen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
I've never seen Galaxy
You've never
Quest.
seen Galaxy Quest?
No.
Dude, that's where I got my never give up, never
Yeah,
surrender.
yeah.
Really?
One of the best
Yeah.
Star Trek movies out there.
Oh, is it about Star Trek?
It's sort of. You'll see. You should
Yeah.
understand when you watch it.
To
It's a really
me,
good movie. It's like one of the only sci-fi movies that I actually enjoy.
That's awesome.
see, to
does
me,
it-
the Galaxy Quest is just like a big meme. Like it's a funny movie.
It is a funny movie. It's a really great movie
Yes,
all around.
Sigourney
I'm really
Weaver.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm
As a
excited.
blonde.
I'm excited because Sigourney Weaver's in the movie, and she is Bay. Well, we
Yeah.
can watch it on Hulu for free, you guys. Just so you know.
Cool.
I mean, free with a subscription.
Yeah. That we all
Alan-
have.
Alan Rickman is in it too.
Yeah,
This is exciting.
Julie, it has a huge cast.
Yeah.
I can't believe you never seen it. Like they used to play it on
If I-
TBS all the
Dude,
time.
if my parents didn't like a movie or weren't didn't know or were interested, I definitely didn't watch it. My parents were into most movies, but
That's
Like-
exactly the same for me, but my mom didn't like movies, period.
Rough.
What
That
did
happened
your
to me
mom
too,
like?
Gabe. It's weird.
She liked watching me play sports.
Aw, cute.
my mom liked movies a lot. She just didn't like all of them, which makes sense.
See, my mom would watch like the same 3 movies over and over again. So,
My mom would watch so many different movies all the time.
alright. Well, you know what? We'll see you next time. Watch. Can't think of name. Jared, what's the name?
Galaxy
Galaxy
Quest.
Galaxy
Quest.
Quest,
Talking
starring
about this.
Tim Allen. See it. Everyone say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Like,